on McGrath, yeah. And starting off at the top right position as the red Protoss from North America, it is TT1.
Indeed, and it looks like his teammate is actually all across the map, so we got basically cross positions where you're not close to your ally whatsoever. And TT1 KenZy spawning, of course, is Protoss Zerg. KenZy getting Zerg, the opponents don't know that yet, but they're about to find out as soon as this blue
the Overlords get halfway. They should have an idea now, right? Like usually the Overlords would intercept if both Zergs were on the same side. So already these players kind of have a bit of information by not seeing things at this point. So yeah, obviously maps, 2v2 maps that are built like this, you know, similar to Python, it's always going to make the Zerg potentially more dangerous, right? Because getting to that Spire Tech is so much more of a threat when your Nexus is 3 seconds away. You know, so you really got to be on top of your scouting, really got to be on top of, you know, static defense if needed. And the Zergs are also in this weird spot where you can't really just fly across the map willy-nilly because you can be countered at any point should the opposing Zerg get his Mutalisk across the map. Wow,
yes,
a gas steal.
Yeah, so he scouted early. He didn't know what race KenZy was, and KenZy even hid his Overlord to hide that. But scouting early in order to know that. Now, stealing the gas is going to slow down the Mutalisk timing, and I mean, if you're Zerg, you get the Mutalisk first. He could just kill the enemy Zerg, quite possibly.
Yeah. I think this was a read. I think he knew Zerg was there, actually. So this was intentional. And this, as you said, like we were just talking about how important Spire timing is in 2v2. Already with that being delayed, you know, it doesn't matter that he has this seeming 12 hatch, you know, down at the ramp. Sure, he's going to have plenty of drones, but that doesn't mean anything if you know, don't really have the tech necessary.
Yeah, so it's well much at the ramp. They might go for like a later, I mean, expanding this sort of out of the question, of course, and he cancelled the gas even. So he knew, like, okay, forced, oh, but he's going to sneak it in. No, again.
Oh, man. Big damage here being done by Wave. Wow.
Yeah, and the lair already started for the other team. So Izu and Wave, they're already on the way to lair. And this is really a problem that KenZy and TT1 going to have to solve. Like, we might see some Spore colonies, we might see Corsairs from Protoss, even, possibly.
Yeah, definitely going to have to see Spore colonies at this point. You know, maybe there's a big Ling counter timing. I mean, they're going to have to eventually pressure the Zerg here just to try to alleviate some of the Spire timing. Wow, lots of blue moving across the map here.
Looks like... we have a 2v1 against a 2-launcher, apparently.
Oh,
but a counter attack at the same time from TT1.
Yeah, Zealot counter could be big. Drone being focused down immediately here from Izu. Great control. And...
wow, I mean, when you hold 1v2, you're actually carrying so hard. It just creates so much momentum for your team when you don't take damage 1v2.
But look what this has done. That gas still hasn't been touched. Finally, 2 Zerglings going to start pecking away at it. So
yeah, it's a very good point.
I think it was a pretty successful delay. I don't think they even intentionally needed to kill there. Yeah, this is not looking great here.
So they did extend their tech advantage a lot by, you know, forcing the Lings off of that ascent later. But losing units in doing so, they're open to this 2v1 counterattack right now, which could just kill their own Protoss. And that means the Mutalisks that they're going to have an advantage in are going to have to kill the enemy Zerg.
Yeah, right. I completely underestimated this timing here from TT1 and KenZy. Holy shit, that is a lot of Zealots. Yeah, this is looking a little rough to hold, honestly.
Yeah, and even if the earlier Mutalisks end up killing the enemy Zerg, in a PvZ, the Protoss is going to win, playing that out in a 1v1, right? Because it's a 1-base Zerg. So it looks like TT1 and KenZy are using this counterattack, possibly to win the game. They're taking out the pylon now, so no more reinforcements. And yeah, they could just go for the Nexus at this point.
Wave is dead here, just straight up dead. What a timing from Izu and TT1. After, I thought a really rough start there, honestly, for KenZy, but man, just that counter timing pressure from TT1, it was enough. You know, how would you adjust to that? Was the Dragoon timing late? Did he need a forge and a cannon on the ramp? Maybe I don't know.
I think that
unique.
taking the assimilator, the gas theft was good, but then they got a little greedy, sacrificing units in order to extend the mute advantage, right? Because they already had enough of mute advantage. So maybe like faking the attack, but then going back could be okay. But I don't think sacrificing the units is worth it, and I think they paid for that. Especially losing all those Zerglings too. They lost the Zealot and like 6 links for essentially nothing, right?
Yeah, you're very right. They forced the sunken, right? The second they saw that sunken go down, maybe if they just scouted it and said, you know what, we've done the damage here, that gas still isn't up, like let's just back off. You know, that's a really nice assessment, vOddy. I like that. But yeah, shoot, they're gonna have to rally to figure things out here. It's still a best of 5, so plenty of games to come back in. You know, it's kind of rare to see these best of 5 2v2 series, especially with, you know, such a cool map pool. I think there's going to be a lot of room to, you know, try out some intricate timings. Sparkles in the map pool. I always love to call that map out. It's my favorite 2v2 map of all time. I sure hope it gets picked. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, we'll go for game 2 apparently.
All right, sounds like we are ready to go here with game 2. So let's jump into the action.
Okay, game 2. Now, we're looking at Izu right here, apparently, who's the Zerg, and his teammate again across the map, right? So cross positions once again.
And it looks like that's TT1 in the bottom right here, and his teammate KenZy top left. Protoss Terran. All right, I don't know much about TV2, but from what I know, Protoss Terran seems like a really tough 2 vs 2 like race matchup.
It's a bit of an off-meta style, but some people swear by it. Like, it is a style. You have to play a bit differently, but if you get going, it can be pretty good. Now, obviously, KenZy probably randomed into this, right? I can't imagine he chose Terran, so the opponents don't know that yet. They have that going for them, and that means you might be able to get away with some greedy build orders. Like, you could even go one Rax gas. This is a pretty good ramp spot, or you could even SimCity at it.
Yeah, very true. What I find difficult for Terran Protoss is actually the early game.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
if Izu straight up said, you know what, I'm gonna go like 12 pool Expo here, which he's not doing. This looks
he doesn't know
like
there could be an enemy Zerg, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Speed, so.
Right. But yeah,
they just scattered it now.
So maybe he'll still choose to take second hatch on location at the Nat. We'll see. But either way, Zerg can kind of abuse the early game in 2 vs 2 versus Terran Protoss. It feels like I could be way off on that, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, they get a lot of tempo with the speedings. Like, Terran can't really leave space before Stin, or before, you know, Vultures if you're going mech. And so, yeah, you do get a lot of land control. You could even expand as the Zerg possibly, because you're just so safe early on with speedings. But then, like, if Terran and Protoss can stabilize, and then one of them goes anti-Mutalisk, generally Terran does that, but Protoss can too. And Terran might like leave one vessel with the radiate in the ally base and stuff like that. If they can stabilize, they have a really nice mid game. If it goes to 2 base versus 2 base, I believe generally they're advantaged. Because they just have a better army, you know. The Mutalisks just stop being strong eventually.
So you almost feel like KenZy, TT1, recognizing their position, recognizing the matchup, should each just choose to turtle expand and never look to group up, never try a timing?
Well, expanding is going to be a really long-term plan, if they can make it to that point. But like before then, each player on their team has to be willing to 1v2, because you know, Terran just cannot do very much against speedings early on without Stim, basically, or Vultures. So very we true. Might even see, like, I mean, a shield battery at the ramp wouldn't be surprising. But of course, Zerg Protoss, like, isn't Wave, they know this, so they may not even try to do anything. Oh, we have a Zealot, by the way, from TT1. Yeah, see how we're actually not seeing a 2-gate even, we're seeing a 1-gate gas. That's how confident you can be, like, when you're against Terran, you know you're not really threatened early on.
Yeah, very true. But, yeah, Citadel is going to be scouted, though. from TT1.
Yeah, getting
That's
scouted.
quite a big.
But the cool thing is, even if you scout it, it's still useful because you're gonna need either scan, which you're only gonna have one of, right? One combat only. By the way, we're seeing a lot of probes being down there. This is insane, and that mana pylon is still there. So TT1 did very well so far. But
yeah, I'm not surprised. I've faced this myself, man. TT1 making it look easy.
Wow, that's a lot of damage, dude. Even 2v1ing just one Zealot and one probe. But like, so when you go DTs like this, even if the opponent knows when it's coming, if they don't have a Zerg, it's actually useful because you can't do anything before protections. You could even possibly expand behind it, or just buy yourself time and then go into Storm.
We're kind of getting a little insight into KenZy and TT1's gameplay here. We're seeing the adjustment will be for KenZy to actually rush to Vessel, not only to counteract the DT and scout DT, but also to radiate the Vessels.
Precisely, yeah.
You think that's a pretty good call?
Yeah, so, I mean, in a way, it's kind of nice for Terran because you have to go, like, one player has to go anti-Mutalisk anyway, and it is often the Terran going for that. And so then you're getting like double value with the Vessel, right? But even then, there's going to be a time when the DTs reign supreme and you can just do whatever you want as a certain waiver. You could even expand.
Wow, this is kind of crazy. Izu slowly creeping to his ramp. He's spent three drones total already on spine crawlers, having not seen anything move out. Also, oh, he does have an Overlord at least scouting his ramp. But yeah, Mutalisks are going to be on the way.
Expo.
Whoa, I love it. Hidden Expo at the 6 o'clock location.
But yeah, those sunken colonies on the ramp and that creep colony crawling, it's because he knows eventually Terran is going to have a really scary spin army, you know, and with detection, he's going to have to survive that counterattack somehow. So, you know, getting those sunkens maybe a little earlier than he needed, but I'm totally okay with it.
Looks like Terran is moving out. This might be the scary timing you were talking about for Zerg, but fortunately, as you said, he has... Oh, looks like a scan had to go down. DT was pushed away. And now Muta inside the main here of KenZy.
Yeah, no, they have a lot of map control with the Muta threatening to counterattack and the Dark Templar. Like, if you don't have enough scans, you can't do anything about the DT. And even if you do have like 1 or 2 scans, if a TT gets into your base, that's 2 positions you have to scan all of a sudden. Like your army, which can get harassed by DT, and your main. And so I really like this expanding behind us. You know, they're getting the map control with the DT and then going for the expansion.
It's always a risk hiding an Expo, right? All it's going to take is 1 scan, 1 probe, you know, 1 SCV moving to 6 o'clock. That could get scouted out. But, you know, for the meantime, it is completely safe, and we'll start earning here for Izu's economy.
Yeah, I mean, you might look at this and think, why hide this Expo? Like, can't they just take their natural with all of that map control they're getting? And yeah, they could, but the thing is, with this expansion, if you get fortified and put Sunkens on the ramp, you basically have it forever. Like, you're never getting up there. Sunkens at a choke point ladder is going to be so strong. You know, it seems like we have DT drop here. They're going for the, oh, this is actually so deadly because he didn't go for Observer. Like, why would you, right? So if they take out that cannon with Mutalisks, it's actually over.
Yeah. A lot of Scourge, though. A little surprised by the Scourge numbers here. DT getting a little bit of damage done. I feel like his gas in the main is completely vulnerable. He should just right-click that.
Dude, that was such a save right there.
Oh no!
That really could have ended everything, but he was there with the Dragoons, having like some sort of magical game sense, I don't know. But very good that he was in there. And I feel like even then, if they had just completely went for that cannon, I think they could have done it. But of course, it's easy for me to say that, because I can look here and see they only had 1 cannon. They didn't know that, right?
Right, exactly. No, Muta definitely should have just dived on the 1 cannon. I don't know why he's so adamant to kill this cannon, of all the cannons. But that will at least expose a pylon here at the natural.
Right, looks like KenZy's moving out to his first vessel now. Irradiate on the way, dropship on the way as well, which could actually kill the Zerg potentially if he elevators all of that army in.
Yeah, it won't take much with just a single hatchery at the top right, or even bottom middle if that eventually gets scouted. But yeah, it looks like Team Blue is on the map here. KenZy TT1 trying to find a little pressure. Ooh, Muta's doing some good amount of damage though, but the vessel's there. Irradiate on. Oh no, not the best split. Oh no, that's
and kills 2 more Mutalisks.
I think it was more than 2. I think it was a lot of Muta that just dropped. Suddenly Izu not in a great spot here. That is so much Protoss, actually.
Yikes. That is actually insane. Now, they might go for a kill here. I mean, it's basically 2-1 at this point after this Muta slide. And like, imagine if he elevators into the main and then the Protoss goes from the front. I might be able to go, or he's just going to go for it now.
He should. They both should just group up and kill that. I mean, it's sure, 4 Sunkens placed very, very well, but that's it. 4 Sunkens versus 2 armies. They could definitely kill that.
Yeah, we got some more Mutalisk stuff now, though, so he might be guarding against this dropship. But if they see the Mutalisks leave, they could pounce and go for the elevator. Quite possibly. We got some temper being called by the Protoss, by the way. So TT1 catching these tempers is actually huge. Because they needed to be defending this expo, now he might lose the expo.
Yeah, shuttle was also pulled back as well here. I mean, it is Cannon Storm, can be pretty scary, but yeah, there's no way. This expo is definitely forfeit. Elevator into the main. Here we go. Drones already being pulled. Mutalisk back on their way home. Oh man, this is big, big damage.
Yeah, so that's minus the Zuri main and minus the... Actually, maybe minus the Protoss main. He's trying to go for a T1 checking if he can.
3 more Mutas group up here, and it might be time. Oh, he's gonna get another radio off. Oh no.
Yeah, that's just cruel. I mean, he didn't even need it. He's already killing the base, but...
Oh man, once again, just needs to pull that Muta away.
Right, so Lair is down, and we're down to just 1 hidden expo at 6 o'clock with, okay, trying to break out here, can't really go for it. TT1 with the containment. Now, okay, yeah, GG. TT1 was even expanding behind it.
Man, amazing, amazing play there from TT1 and KenZy once again getting it done. Also in a rough spot. I thought they were losing it once again, but they just managed to turn it around with these strong timings.
It's like a little rough early on, but then they just play better. Like, I don't know if you've ever had this experience where you're playing this Korean expert and you get ahead, but it doesn't matter. Like, he just kills you later anyway. Like, you feel like you're just...
Like every time I play Korean.
Right, you just find yourself making mistakes and throwing away leads. That's what it looks like here.
Yeah, still, man. Very well done. It looks like TT1, KenZy are the team to beat here, this one. But it's not over yet. Best of 5. You know, there's still room here for Izu and Wave to mount a comeback. And, you know, like we're saying, they're starting off so strong. You could see the potential in there.
Sure.
But yeah, with that, it will at least be Wave and Izu's map choice here. So we'll see what they end up going with. And it sounds like we are ready to go, folks. Let's get into Game 3. Izu and Wave facing off against TT1 and KenZy.
Okay, Game 3, Paranoid Android remake. This is essentially a 2v2 version of the good old World Cyber Games map. So we got KenZy spawning his Terran again at the top, which is going to get scouted by his neighbor Izu, who's deserted. And it looks like this is TT1 at the bottom, so again, cross positions, far away from your ally. Possibly good for the Zerg team, you know? Because it is PT versus ZP once again.
Well, we already see the comments. I2 gate, U3 racks, question mark. We are going to see some pressure out of the Terran Protoss team this time.
Yeah, I mean, you might, like, it's going to force Sunkens, and it can even be difficult for Protoss to survive that without cannons on the ramp, right? Because if you're standing there with, like, Zealot and a shield battery, the Marines just start picking that off. So if you can go there before there's a lot of Dragoons, it could be dangerous. Alright, so they know it's a Zerg. Izu and Wave, they decided to send in the Overlord, which is a controversial decision because, like, some people choose to hide it, so they won't know where you are, right? They won't know, like, which player spawned, but others just send it in to get more vision.
There's also like tactical ways to do it, right? For whatever reason, it used to be way more popular to send the Overlord a little further north, scout the outskirts of a mineral, and see what the mining is.
Yeah,
like whether
exactly.
that's a probe or, and you can do that out of vision of your opponent, but
Yeah.
it requires a little more work.
It does. And I mean, in a 2v2 setting, like the only thing you're hiding if you don't have a random on your team is, where Zerg is on their Protoss. So it's not that big of a deal. So they're just choosing to go in and check the gas. Like, what is this Terran doing? Is he doing something crazy, like trying to go mech or something? Like fast gas, and he's not. So they're going to know it's 2 racks for now. Pretty early gas from Wave and Izzy here. So,
yeah, already the gas, so definitely not looking to mount that early pressure. But he still should be fine to kind of hold here. Looks like this is a pretty quick layer out of Izu, so making his way towards that spire.
Apparently. So going for that really fast one-hatch Muta style again, it seems like.
Yep,
Last game, I mean, honestly, last game it didn't seem to do that much. They had the map control with the DT, I think, enough. Like, I'm thinking maybe a third hatch would have been better, I don't know. But it is a standard meta build, like it does give you a lot of map control for a while. Okay, so anyway, 2v1 attempt here, 1 probe goes down, and that should be it. I don't think they can force the issue here anymore. But what this does is it confirms a 2-gate from the enemy, because when you see three zealots like this, you know he went 2-gate, and you know he doesn't have a really fast gas.
Yeah, very, very true. Once you see those 3 zealots, there's just no trading efficiently with that. Terran hasn't really been scouted out that well. I don't know if Izu saw the second barracks building or not with his Overlord. But either way, that academy is going to be finishing up here, and KenZy should have some kind of a stim timing, whether they choose to go Protoss or Zerg. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, if they're going to go for... I mean, we don't see a factory yet, which means they really want to accomplish something with, like, mass zealots and yeah, stim timing, like you said, because neither player is really taking quickly on KenZy and TT1's team. And if they don't accomplish a lot with that stim timing and the zealots, it could become rough when the Mutalisks start counter-attacking, right? Because that's what you want that vessel for. And you ideally want even a vessel in your allies' base as well.
If the timing is quick enough, you force Zerg to defend with the early mutas as well. So I feel like if KenZy moves out here with these first 2 medics, it could be a little difficult for Izu to hold here.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive. Like, it's going to force a lot of sun kits at least on an already strained Zerg economy. So there is a macro transition and that's a lot of zealots. That's looking at the AI in single player,
Yeah, it does actually. It looks like he's playing a computer. Oh man. Yeah, how do you stop that many zealots? I mean, he's gonna clearly need to use his muta, right? But also, he needs to throw like 2 more Sunkens down. He even left a zealot.
Honestly, dude. So they saw this coming, right? Yeah, so we do have some Sunkens on the ramp, and that's what I was talking about. Like, this is what they want to accomplish. But even this, they could still kill it. Like, it's still dangerous. Cannons at the ramp for Protoss. Now, this is a dangerous wall they have going, but like these mutas are gonna counterattack, and they don't have the tech to deal with it. So
we're seeing 3 larvae. We're not even seeing the mutas be built. 700 gas banked up.
Oh, look at these zealots to guard. That's
this is really smart.
Oh, but he doesn't get the walkie yet on the ramp. Alright, there we go.
Looks like Terran going to try to counter Protoss ramp. Only 1 cannon is completed.
I think that's enough though. Cannons are they're so strong against Bio, dude.
Yeah,
even if it were just a 1 cannon, I think it would have been fine, honestly. Like, they're actually that insane.
TT1 saying D. Looks like it is time to defend up. Muta going to be on the map any second. Cannon being placed in the main of TT1. Just anticipating this early muta. Single muta flying in here for Izu.
So it's looking like Wave and Izu, they cannoned up, they sunken up, and they both teched faster, so they have a tech advantage. But I want to know, is the Protoss for Wave and Izu, is he going to go for Shuttle Reaver? Oh, looks like it, yeah. I was going to ask Shuttle Reaver or Pepper Tech, because I think a Shuttle Reaver is really strong, and there's no, Zerg for the enemy team, right? There's no Mutalisk threat. And Terran's not going to have a Wraith or anything, so you can actually do some pretty deadly, yeah.
Even the Protoss right now, right? That's what's closest to him. He has a cannon clearly in the main, but if the Muta pair up with this Reaver here and against pure Zealot, I don't know what's going to happen here. Looks like single Stargate is starting to pump out some Corsairs to defend against.
Oh, but here comes the double attack that we're talking about. So the Muta Reaver combo, it's so strong. And like, KenZy can't really counterattack anywhere because there are cannons at the ramp and sockets at the ramp. 8 kills right. Oh my!
What is going on here? That has to be game.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
I mean, that is devastating damage
with the
total of
scarabs
2 seconds. What ridiculous scarabs these were.
And the desperate counterattack is gonna get walked. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's not making it up that ramp against Cannon Zealot. There's just no way. It looks like it's game, man. And then Izu and Wave on the board. Well
That's
done.
such a classic way to play TB2, where you put cannons on your ramp and you tech fast. You just give up map control. Because you're like, what are you going to do? Expand? You know?
Yeah. Man, I was shocked. Another thing I noticed about Izu's play was, there was no second hatch. Whereas at least the previous game, there was the hidden second hatch. He completely crippled his economy, putting down those 4 sunkens so early, trying to defend the stim zealot timing. But in the end, it didn't matter, right? Pure zealot, pure bio. What's that going to do against a Reaver and some Muta? Like,
I mean, really the one advantage they got, like you said, is they hurt the Zerg economy. But they committed so much to that they died to their counterattack. But even then, the game wasn't over. If Terran KenZy had been in his allies' base preemptively with like 6-8 Marines, they could have survived. But of course, it's a little bit of a guessing game where it's like, is he going to send the Reaver to me or to my ally, right? But I would have wagered sending it to the ally because you think your opponent, as soon as he gets the Reaver, he probably wants to send it immediately to the closest target, right? Because he knows he's got to use his timing. So they could have possibly gone for that, but I don't blame them for losing the situation.
Yeah, I don't blame him either, man. It was just a well executed timing. There's how often do you run into that, honestly? But yeah, sounds like we are ready to go here with game number 4. Looks like Izu and Wave mounting a little bit of a comeback here, so we'll see what map TT1 and KenZy end up picking. Whoa, and at the 12 o'clock position as Protoss, it is Wave.
And here,
his teammate?
His teammate playing the Team Zerg. So top versus bottom right here. KenZy begin
Protoss. Ooh, okay, finally randoming a Protoss.
So does that mean it's the fabled double Protoss? Now, on standard maps, double Protoss is considered by many to be a little weak, but no one denies that if they get going and they both get an expansion, they have insane late game. So I'm wondering, does that apply on island maps also, right? What do you think?
I think Protoss would be great on island maps. That's just my thought, especially against Zerg, right? One Protoss just goes to like port Sair, just spam Sair.
Yeah.
There goes Reaver.
And then you basically have a Sair Reaver going. Like, yeah, this is a high economy map too. Everybody has an inside expansion. Zerg even has a third gas. And I mean, if this goes to late game, we could see Devourers, man, because Devourers actually like utterly poop on Crusaders. Like it's like a StarCraft 2 level hard counter. It's actually insane. But looks like we're seeing a Mutant Crush again.
Yeah, it's making it there to the Devourers that could be pretty tough, especially with the 2 port wraiths. I'm not complaining though. I will tell you this: of all island maps ever made, I think this is the best one for Zerg. Comes the close. As someone who had to play Estrella for years at WCG,
that's it.
Man, it was it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah, but no, this game's totally playable for Zerg. But you want to know something funny? Despite that, it was still slightly Terran favorite TBC in 1v1.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But anyway, by like a little bit, it was pretty balanced overall, though, I guess, for an island map. But yeah, looks like a Nexus first here. Good choice in this map. I mean, they know what their opponent's races are, so they don't really have to fear as much.
Yeah, very true. You can kind of just get away with that early eco. Anyway, we know TT1 is so strong, with those early game mechanics, with his economy, not one to miss pylons and things like that. So you might as well just go for the early advantage if you can get it.
Yeah, so pretty similar builds here. Basically like a 1-gate expo with fast gas. Now, the reason you don't go like straight up 12 Nexus, part of that is that you need to actually clear out the gas at your expo, right? So you gotta have some units to go for that. which we see that they're both working on at the moment.
Yeah, one Zealot should do it in time. I think both players, you know, are probably really on top of the Zealot timing to clear that gas.
But wait a minute, so here. Yep.
I was gonna say, I know a lot of Zergs prefer the other expansion actually as the initial expo, just because they don't have to make the 2 lings to kill this gas. But we do see Izu will be taking the natural expansion here. A lot of advantages to that, clearly.
Yeah, he doesn't care as much about, like, his second hatchery is so late because they're mute the rushing enemies, so that's why he's going for this, I think. So making the links wasn't an issue because it doesn't slow his gas come out. We have like a fast robo mute attack from Wales.
Yeah, I just noticed this. This is really weird.
So TT1 and KenZy both know if there's any early aggression, it's 1v2 time. Like, either one must be robust enough to survive. And that's what they're going to be facing. They don't know it yet, but...
What? That's so bizarre to me. I don't know if I've ever seen a TV2 without Sair on this map. Huh.
Yeah, they're going to have to go Dragoons just to survive. I mean, this is a little bit of a read, though. Like, they're in the dark. They have to guess. Like, if you think your opponent's going to attack 2v1, just make Dragoons. But if you think they expanded, there's no point to that, right? But at least, you know, they both fast expanded, so they might be thinking, like, if I can just survive, we're double Protoss. Let's just play this safe. And I mean, making Dragoons, it's not a total waste because you can make shuttles later and expand to the islands. Could even go for a recall. I mean, well, that's a little crazy, I suppose. But yeah, they're going to need a lot of cannons too, because it is going to be 1v2.
Izu's making Scourge just preemptively, assuming there with 2 Protoss there has to be a Corsair, right? There's not. It's really funny to me, actually. Huh.
Yeah,
well, I mean, if they could tee up,
yeah,
with cannons, I don't see why, you know, not. But I feel like, I mean, eventually somebody has to go Corsair. You can't just not go Corsair on an island map, I think.
Yeah, most likely they're gonna have to go here. I mean, speed scouts could be an option, even theoretically, because you know they do beat. You can just patrol mine. It's actually really easy to patrol mine for Scourge with speed scouts, but it takes a while to get going. But anyway, the more immediate concern is this attack that they don't know is coming, but they seem to be expecting something. Here we go with the first one. How many Dragoons do we have?
It's gonna be 2 Zealots and the Reaver. No Muta yet, but 2 Muta. And yeah, this is just, I mean, gonna be a big deal. There's nothing to push the shuttle away, so this will just go on indefinitely. There's no Corsair, no Scout.
Yeah, this combo's so deadly because, like, either one he could deal with alone. The Mutas alone, yes, the Reaver alone, but like, these Mutas can kill these Dragoons if there are no cannons, and the Reaver's taking care of the cannons, so...
KenZy has no way to help without any Corsairs of his own either.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a bad decision to not go Corsairs.
Dude, if he gets a shuttle! Oh my days!
He did get it. Oh man. Hilarious. We still got a game, man. Here we go.
Oh,
TT1 saying, holy shit! Can't believe he lived.
I mean, so he was getting enough units to be able to take the fight, but to win it that hard, yikes, that should not have happened right there.
Alright, well, they gotta make up for it, man. I don't care. I need to see some Corsair from these double Protoss.
One base double robo, by the way.
Whoa. I mean, he knows there has to be more Reavers. Somehow, KenZy and TT1 need to be able to meet up their units. And we see a robo going down for TT1. Eventually, he's going to be able to have that shuttle tech here. Izu really focusing on Muta production. We're seeing that armor upgrade just about to finish up. It's going to make... I mean, Izu's really the story here. He's doing... He's the reason why nothing can get on the map against these Mutas. Yeah. There's no counter. There's plenty of storage.
You can't just make shuttles here. You need air units, you know, as Protoss. And we do see Corsairs on the way, but like another attack that's going to hit TT1, who's still isolated, of course. No way to get any help.
Yeah, these Corsair are going to need to move in here and try to assist. Here we go. We have 5 Corsairs at least now from KenZy. Plenty of cannons, though. This could be a little dicey.
Yeah, they're just going for it. Cannons get 2-shot, of course, by the Reavers, and we'll do 2 Reavers. Oh my days.
Ooh, huge Reaver Scarab.
Okay, pick up the Corsairs. And that's enough to beat those Mutas, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be enough. Izu trying to switch everything up here, split a little bit. Pretty good splitting. Scourge does chase those Corsair away, but still, these 2 Reavers need to be dealt with. Oh, do you just target down the Nexus at this point?
They
Yeah,
can't,
I guess you do.
unfortunately. It's
I think
just
he's
not
got
enough.
it. Oh,
really?
barely not. Oh, so close. 10 HP, man.
Damn, that was closer than I thought it'd be. If they had gotten that, that
TT1
would have
should
been
say
okay.
holy shit again.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Oh, I think TT1 and KenZy are so far ahead right now, dude. Like, the Protoss expansion for the enemy for Wave, it's not even saturated. Oh, and we have a fleet beacon, so that could be like D-Web, could be scout speed. A lot of cannons here. You're not logging into this, I think.
Now there's no way for TT1 to help, though. I mean, Reaver Muta just eat cannons. They don't really care about cannons. They definitely don't care about probes here. He could just retreat at this point.
Yeah,
He's done his damage.
The Mutas should leave. The Mutas just clear the way for the Reavers. But 2 Reavers here, they can't beat this amount of gateway units, unfortunately, and Nexus is going to be saved, so this is just harassment. This is just denying mining time, and they're losing a lot of units to get this done.
Yeah, very true.
Oh, and by the way, Zerg might get control blocked, like all the Overlords could die, I just realized.
With that many Corsair, I mean, absolutely. That's definitely the big advantage of going Corsair on an island map is, eventually that Mutaverse Seraphite's going to happen, whether they like it or not.
Yeah,
and once the Mutas get run over, everything is vulnerable.
Yeah, like if you're gonna fight, you can't fight Zerg versus Protoss Air, but you need like 3 gas at least. You want to have like Ensnare, eventually even Devourers, but like just Mutas and a few Scourge at this point is not going to cut it. So another desperate attack here. They're going to get the Nexus if they want, at least. But
yeah, Nexus should die. Or
no,
he didn't focus it. And the Muta's going to get cleaned up, like we said here.
Oh, here comes Scourge.
Okay, good Scourge though. Yeah, really good Scourge placement.
Alright, so that's really as well as it could have gone. So buying some time for Isu, but like, there's no third gas on the way. There's no Ensnare. There's really, I don't know, like eventually it's gonna be like 12 Corsairs plus 2. And yeah, exactly.
There's no third on the way here for Izu. We see that the mining is very minimal still at the natural. These have been dedicated attacks. Wow, only 7 drones in the main. Yeah. I mean, at some point, they need to recognize that, hey, this Protoss team has stabilized. I need to do whatever. Get to that hive tech. Get those Devourers, like you were saying. Spore up. Get that third base. Wave here, I like the Reavers. They're still going to be useful, but I mean, eventually you're going to need something that shoots air.
Yeah, I really think like, okay, so they got the early map control with the Mutalisks, right? I think at that point, they should have used that map control to start taking center expansions and building cannons in the center. Then they could have used the advantage they ended up having early on, but instead they just tried to go all in, that it just barely wasn't enough to kill.
We're seeing the first third expand here from TT1 going to get taken out immediately here from Izu. So, but at least, TT1 forcing that movement, forcing that focus. This is plenty of scouting info, and this is actually going to allow the Corsairs to come in and clean everything up. So, yeah.
Those Corsairs, by the way, have +1 shields. They have shields, dude. With +2 attack on the way. +2 attack just finished, so... Oh my days! Okay, and here we go. That's what I was talking about, where if you're forced to make Dragoons to survive early, you can still use them later. In a move like this.
Yeah, definitely. Dragoons, especially in PvP, always going to have some importance here. Reavers, though, from Wave being dropped in, should be able to clean this up, but not before the shuttle gets sniped. Oh, and once again, we have another Muta versus Corsair battle. Let's see how this one goes. Oh, good Scourge, though.
Whoa.
Whoa, okay, man. Izu not making it easy here for KenZy, but still.
Still, they got the expansion. They're just so far ahead on here. Like, when you get picks like this, it matters if you have a third gas, if you have Ensnare, if you have maybe Hive on the way. But, like, right now, he doesn't make any drones. Like, he just doesn't have the eco, whereas the enemy team, TT1 against, they're expanding. You can see in the minimap, they're trying to take more expos, going for those islands.
Oh my gosh, look at how many shuttles that is.
Yeah, that's some serious shuttle man right there, dude. And this might actually kill Zerg. With the Corsair support, I don't think he has enough.
Here we go. Plenty of Dragoons and Zealots being unloaded. Corsairs coming in here as well to the Zerg base. And GG's is the call here from Izu. Looks like TT1 and KenZy going to watch.